The reading was written by Professor Brian Cantwell-Smith and is called The Language of Matter. Religion may have to change into something never before imagined. We need a new theology as much as we need a new science. We need a theology brought up to date scientifically and altered to capture imaginations and inspire a worldwide community of diverse people. A theology that can incorporate a full range of human questioning into ultimate significance, give people a reason to live and anchor their commitments, help people understand why they should care about things that are important. I believe the updated science and the updated theology will ultimately turn into the same project.
There was an extraordinary event at the Adelaide Zoo earlier this year. The jailbreak. You may have heard about it on the news. In fact, you'd be surprised to know maybe that this extraordinary event, this jailbreak, made headlines all over the world. If you don't believe me, don't take my word for it, Google it. Something about an orangutan imaginatively escaping her captivity clearly captured the imagination of a lot of people right across the planet. Why should this be? This incredible worldwide uptake of this local story here in little old Adelaide where nothing apart from mass murders ever happens. Could it be that it was a slow news day all over the world? Or is it so unusual everywhere that it's newsworthy everywhere? Or is it more evidence of the fact that news really has devolved into mere amusement and monkeys are, well, funny? Or is it, that old familiar media fear-mongering, wild animals busting loose? What next? Lions roaming the streets? Is anyone safe? We interrupt this program to bring you the following news bulletin. A gang of enraged gibbons have managed to tunnel out of the zoo today and were seen heading in the direction of the fruit market. Citizens are advised to remain indoors and hide fruit from plain sight. But I trivialize. Her escape itself is a little less compelling to me than our fascination with it, this worldwide fascination with it. Why was this so, this brief but intense worldwide fascination? Well, for one thing, it's just a great story. How and why she escaped, and what she did when she got out. Her name, by the way, she has a name, is Karta. And this name elides, unfortunately, into an old but strangely apt joke. I took my wife to Indonesia. Jakarta? No, she went of her own accord. Boom, boom. We'll come back to that joke a little later. Karta is her name. Karta is 27, from Indonesia, about 5'2", weighing about 62 kilos, reddish hair, and eyes that seem to look straight into your soul. And I think I love her, despite the fact that she has the intelligence of a 5-year-old human, or maybe because of that. But don't worry, Karta loves another. Her partner of many years, Pusung, had died recently, and she'd been, evidently, grieving. And as pain, or want, or necessity are the mothers and stepmothers of invention, Karta managed to channel and sublimate all her grief to do something extraordinary. Before the aghast onlookers and zoologists, she achieved a kind of mini-evolution, one of those evolutionary steps that are said to produce sudden mutations. Not really a small step, more a giant leap. This leap of Karta's encapsulating the major psychological stages of human development. I'll illustrate. Evolution, step 1. Karta, the tool maker. Now, early in her life, Karta had worked out that if you touch the electric fence, it hurt. By the way, this is where my ape ancestors' evolution would have stopped. It would have been, ow, 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 why? He'd still be there. But if you touch it holding a stick, it doesn't hurt. Stick's not like hand. If stick is on the fence, hand not hurt. And thus, Karta, this orangutan, worked out how to use a tool, a stick, to short-circuit the electric fence. Tool-making was once thought to be exclusive to humans, but has been known for some time to be firmly within the tactical repertory, the grasp of all great apes. Fence, no longer a barrier. Fence now, a climbing frame. Evolution step 2. Karta, the Renaissance ape. Fence climbing is one thing, but getting over the fence and realizing that the fence is itself within a sunken enclosure must have been a blow to her. But no, she had planned for this. Near the enclosure wall, which is impossible in itself to scale, was a pile of branches, big pile, garnered over the preceding days without anybody taking any notice. Some of these branches had to be bartered for from the other orangutans, who also rather like their branches. Nobody noticed this development of a careful plan, a plan which revealed a capacity for imagining the future and for abstract thinking. What would it be like if I got over the wall? And so she compiles enough branches to climb up and atop the enclosure wall, which she does. Karta surveys the zoo grounds, the neighboring parklands, and off into the distance the city, which must have seemed so strange and wonderful to her in the fading afternoon light. Jakarta? No, she went of her own accord. Evolution step 3, thoroughly modern Karta. She's now free, entirely without enclosure. Free also from the higher beings, the gods that used to produce food in such a way that she was supposed to think it was hidden. She'd work that out too, humor them. I'm smarter than they think. So she's now free from these higher beings, free from the familiar landscape of her entire world. Now what? She spent a half an hour on top of the wall, apparently weighing her options. So she makes it over the wall, she does a plan, she gets to the top of the wall, she's up there half an hour just apparently thinking about it. And some of the questions that might have come to mind would be these. Would Pusung be out there somewhere in the great unknown? How will I find him? How will I get food if the humans and I don't play the hide-and-seek game? Will there be others out there who will take care of my needs? What will it be like out there? Will it hurt? And so with a thoroughly modern freedom, Karta now has a thoroughly existential problem. Being free, what am I to do? Evolution step 4, a postmodern Karta. Little background. The cold truth of orangutans is this. They are a critically endangered species and plummeting towards extinction. There are about 1,000 left in rehabilitation centers in Sumatra and Borneo. Their habitats are vanishing as their more numerous planet mates, us, consume ever more of the resources that comprise their habitat. If no forest survives, where will the rehabilitated orangutans be released into? Suburban neighborhoods? Well, there are zoos, of course, and let us be honest, a zoo is a kind of a prison. No matter how well fed you are, no matter what array of culturally suitable diversions have been stage managed for you, you're still in an enclosure. You're still regulated by the more powerful, higher beings.